So we read at the beginning of the book of Jeremiah the context of his role as a prophet. So he, again, as we mentioned previously, was from the Abiathar tradition of the priestly leadership in the land of Israel. As we continue in verses 2 and following, the context of Jeremiah, historically speaking, is that he proclaimed the messages of God in the days of Josiah, son of Ammon, who was an unrighteous king. Josiah, of course, was a righteous king. He was king of Judah in the 13th year, which places us about 626 BC. In your commentary reading in the introduction, Thompson will discuss some issues about interpreting this 13th year, but my approach is to see Jeremiah's call taking place around 626 BC. And also, he continued to proclaim the messages over a long period of time, all the way down to the destruction of Jerusalem in 586, as it continues to read in chapter 1, until the 11th year of Zedekiah, son of Josiah, king of Judah, until the exile of Jerusalem in the 5th month, again, the last year of Zedekiah's rule. So, some 40 years, Jeremiah proclaims the messages of God in the land of Judah, but even then continues afterwards, as we read about, for example, in chapters 28 and several other locations in the book. He continues after that. When Jerusalem has been destroyed, the puppet governor under the Babylonian kingdom of Nebuchadnezzar, Gedaliah, a Jewish leader, was put into governorship position north of Jerusalem in the town of Mitzpah, well known in Old Testament history. And Jeremiah will be in that region, which of course is north of his hometown rather than south like Jerusalem. And so there we have the leadership of Gedaliah. Jeremiah will, of course, inform Gedaliah of a plot to take his life, and he's eventually assassinated when he doesn't listen to Jeremiah. But after that, which is about 592 BC, there's a group who want to go to Egypt, and Jeremiah eventually is taken to Egypt, somewhat against his will, by those escaping the wrath of Nebuchadnezzar after his leader had been assassinated in a coalition of a fellow named Ishmael from the Jews, and Baalisha, who was the puppet king of the Ammonite region. But in the larger picture of the ancient Near East, we're transitioning from Assyria down to Babylon. So Jeremiah's call in 623 is also a pivotal point in ancient Near Eastern history. It is in 626 BC that Nebuchadnezzar's father, Nabopolassar, who had been an administrator in Babylon under the last king of Assyria, under the reign of Ashurbanipal, that he rebels and Babylon is freed from Assyrian domination. So a very pivotal point in the history of Mesopotamia. It is that which is the beginning of the decline and fall of the Assyrian kingdom. As we look through the subsequent events in 614, the holy city of Ashur falls to the combined forces of Babylonians and Medes. 612, the city of Nineveh falls, and Assyria is backing up all the way first to Haran. And if you remember in Old Testament history, Haran is where Abraham journeyed first from Ur of the Chaldees, heading north, and where his father Terah dies and is buried. So Assyria is defeated there. And then 609 is when Josiah tries to block the advance of Egypt, coming to the assistance of Assyria, and where Josiah unfortunately meets his end as a result of his not listening to God one of the key themes in the books of Chronicles is the importance of prayer, and in going into battle against Necho. Necho becomes the voice of God warning Josiah not to engage in battle. Josiah doesn't listen to God, and as a result, he is killed in the battle. So the background of Jeremiah. And then, of course, from that point on, we have the emergence of the Babylonian kingdom. The last vestiges of Assyria are defeated by Nebuchadnezzar, who also defeats Pharaoh Necho at Carchemish up on the Euphrates River. And then from that point on, in 604, Israel is under the domination of the Babylonian kingdom until the Babylonian kingdom ends as a result of Cyrus's conquest of Babylon in 538 BC. So the history of Jeremiah in the context of wide varieties of changes, of empires, leadership, and so forth of the ancient world.